What is up YouTube? KM888 here, and I'm finally back with another video. For you guys, I have today a combo video of it's a weird mishmash, but the video itself is long due because I did promise a combo video as soon as I got the cards, which were only released in the Maze of the Masters and the Alliance Insight set. I began this combo as soon as Duke of Demise was announced to be released, which it's 4 or 5 months ago by now. It's crazy. But this is actually kind of nice to do. It is a 1-card combo, so you have 4 other cards in your hand. I'm going to put these here. Always nice to have them, but I am never going to use these. I definitely can, which means that if you're going first in an actual duel, you have more to work with. The combo is fully self-sustained and we're just gonna go into it. It's all revolved around Format Skipper. So let's get into this. First things first, normal summon the Format Skipper and use its effect. For it, we are going to reveal Magical Musketeer Max and treat this card's name, typing, attribute, like it. Link this off, summoning the Magical Musketeer Max. You're going to trigger the Skipper. Now, do keep in mind, if your opponent has a monster on board of any kind, so if you're going second, this happens a lot, or in the middle of the duel, you could trigger the Magical Musketeer Max and get another Surge if you are playing a target for it. And there is a reasonable good one. There is a spell, I forgot the name, but it actually acts like a infinite impermanence, which means that if you search it out here, you can just impermanence another card for free in this combo. For the Skipper, however, we are going to search for Parallel Exceed, and we're going to keep this card in our hand for a little while. Magical Musketeer Max, as all of you know, is a light fiend, so that means you can go into Fiendsmith Requiem. We're not going to trigger the Parallel Exceed right here. The reason for it is simple. If we do, we put cards on our field, so the opponent can Dominus Impulse our Requiem. If we don't do this and we wait a little bit, then they only have Ash as a possible out. Use Requiem. Now, do keep in mind, we are doing this combo fully without interruptions, but I made the lines, I think, as well as possible, so you play around the most. Summon Lacrima, using the effect, and we're going to send Fiendsmith Engraver. Right here, we are going to check for Nip, so we're going to equip the Requiem, and we're going to make Necroquip Princess. Use Engraver effect, put back the Magical Musketeer Max, and we're going to special summon it. If the opponent has a Nip, 90% of the time they're just gonna drop it here, because you threaten with the Caesar, which we actually don't have in our extra deck, but the opponent doesn't know that. And only the only reason in where they wouldn't nip you is if they have Veil or Imperm, basically. So yeah. What we're going to do instead, we are going to link these off and we are going to go into Fiendsmith Sequence. This is a prime moment to just summon the Parallel Exceed. Using Parallel Exceed's effect, special summon the second copy. Overlay these, and we are going to go into Traptrix Pinguicula. Surprise! A little bit of Traptrix mixed into it. Pinguicula effect. And we're going to search for Traptrix Myrmelio. This is good to have for in a few seconds. Link off the Pinguicula, go into Traptrix Serra, and we're just gonna put it on the side. Not gonna be here for too long, but we'll see. Fiendsmith Sequence effect. And I know what you're thinking. If you're gonna go into Desiree, everything is gone. That would just be a shame, wouldn't it? So we are going to go, and we're gonna fuse Requiem and Princess. We're gonna put these back. Fill our extra deck up a bit again, because we are going to need it for the next turn. And we're going to go into the Duke of Demise instead. Now, the Duke of Demise is a card released in Maze of the Masters, I believe it's called. I like it. It gives you an additional normal summon. So, because it's on the field, use its effects, and we're going to normal summon Myrmelio. Myrmelio effect, and you're going to search Ryzeal Plasma Hole. Amazing that you can search this card. Because Myrmelio has been activated, Serra's effect is going to trigger, and we're going to set Traptrix Holosea. And now we are basically free for the races. Use the Duke of Demise with the sequence, link them off, and we are going to go into Fiendsmith Agnumde. Agnamde, really nice, but it's not going to stay here for long. Using the Duke of Demise, we're going to banish this, and we are going to get back our Fiendsmith Engraver. Our hand's getting nice and big. Right now, use the Traptrix Holotea. Ditching the Ryzeal Plasma Hole. Don't worry, you are going to get it back soon. Special summon the Holotea. Because a normal trap has been activated, Sarah's effect is going to trigger, and we are going to summon a Traptrix from the deck. The Traptrix of choice in this case is for me Traptrix Vesiculo. This could be a Traptrix Dionea as well. There isn't really a valid reason why you wouldn't play Dionea, besides the fact that this guy can special summon itself. So if you draw it, it's not as bad of a brick as opposed to Dionea. So that's the only reason I go for this. Otherwise, Dionea is probably better follow-up. So you have to keep that in mind a little bit for yourself, but it's whatever you want to make of it. So yeah. Right now, pretty weird. I'm going to use Engraver. I'm going to search for Fiendsmith in Paradise. The reason for it is the next move that we're going to make is we're going to link into something, and if they would try to negate it, then that card has a cost to actually tag out. And you're going to see, because we've used the Serra now, it's kind of useless. We're going to link it off with the Agnamde, and we are going to go into a Baoku, the Lightless Shadow. A Baoku can tag out as a quick effect, so even if they want to use Imperm or Veiler right now, you can already use this effect, which we are actually going to do. Once I'm going to check for a second. Yeah. This thing can also make sure that other cards in your field can dodge Imperm and stuff. So there is a reason to keep it a little bit longer on the field still. So what we're going to do now, we're going to overlay. And we're going to make Ryzeal Duo Drive. Now, Duo Drive, of course, if we are going to pop it with the Baoku, it's not going to help us much. But we are going to use this effect. By now, they should have already hand-trapped you to death, I guess, so... and we're going to search for Ice and X. These might seem weird as searches, but I have been going around through all the Ryzeals, and I don't think there are better cards to search in this situation to get to the exact board. Like, I'm not using Node Ryzeal during the entire combo, so you could make a statement that if I search Node over Ice, that I get 2 bodies instead of 1. But I also want to get this Duo Drive into the grave a little bit faster for this combo to actually work, because it gives you an additional interruption without having to use an extra card in your extra deck. And it's already, like, it's packed, so there's a weird link going on. You can all experiment with it a little bit on your own if you want, but I don't think you're gonna get a better end situation than searching these two, which is actually weird. Send to Duo Drive to the graveyard, special summon the Ice. And now we're going to overlay Ice and Holotea, and we are going to make Time Thief Redoer. This card, just nuts. It's a non-targetable bounce to the top of the deck. It can remove itself from play until the end phase, which means it comes back. And if it has a spell, you can draw a card. And during each of your of the standby phases, it attaches a card from the opponent's deck, so you can get rid of one-offs. You could get a spell from that. You could get an Imperm, which is another bound. Like, the card is just nuts. If you can play it in a deck, you should. Which on itself is like, it's crazy, actually. But yeah, Time Thief Redoer. Right here, we're going to use X Ryzeal, and we are going to dump Eclipse Twins. Chainlink 1 X Ryzeal to search. Chainlink 2 Eclipse Twins, targeting the Duo Drive and the Traptrix Pinguicola. This is basically the reason why you search the X, because you needed to get the Duo Drive in the graveyard on beforehand. So special summon out the Pinguicola and attach the Duo Drive underneath it. It seems weird that we're going for the Pinguicola, but because of the fact that it's here, it's actually a really good play against Malice and against Fiendsmith. Malice, whenever they banish a monster, it triggers to special summon, and then you can chain Pinguicola to actually put that Malice monster underneath of Pinguicola as a material. It's a weird effect and often overlooked, but in the matchup where, like in matchups against Malice, it's actually really great. Fiendsmith as well. if they go tracked and they discard to Lurry, a card has been sent to their graveyard by card effects. So if they use Lurry to special summon, you can just chain your Pinguicula and attach the Lurry to it. It's only once per turn, but it is a viable way of interacting with the opponent. And I don't think there are a lot of cards that actually interact with a Malice that is going to special summon from the Banished Zone. So that's actually cool. Don't forget to search for your X. Remember, we still have our Abauku, so if they tried to Imperm or Veiler the X, we actually could have dodged that, so it's nice. Special summon the sword, use the effect, and we're going to go into Star Ryzeal. This is the new card from Alliance Insight. I love it. This is a great searcher for your field spell, and yeah, nothing else that I can say about that, basically. Right here, might seem weird to do, but we are already going to go into our Detonator. We finally have 2 Ryzeals, so go for it. Ryzeal Detonator. Using the Detonator's effect, we are going to attach our Eclipse Twins. Then another thing that we can do, just before we are going to get something in our Spell and Trap Zone, we have Vesiculo in the graveyard. This hasn't used her effect at this point, so we can banish this card and we can set a whole trap that we have in the graveyard. What do we have? We have Ryzeal Plasma Hole, which means you can set it. You can only activate this effect if you don't have anything in your Spell and Trap Zone, so over here. The Field Zone doesn't, it doesn't matter for that, but it's just a nice thing to have. It's an additional plus. Dionea does the same, it just sets the Plasma Hole, but then the Dionea goes to graveyard, so you might have better follow up with that. Yeah. Now we are here, and we already have a lot of disruptions, which is actually nice. Use the Star Ryzeal, special summon it. What are we going to detach for the Ryzeal to summon? You can choose between the Ice Ryzeal and the Ryzeal Dual Drive. On its own, Pinguicula doesn't need to detach for her effect to put something under it. So that means that you don't really need to do a drive. The only thing that the Pinguicula does with the material is to be unaffected for trap cards and, in this case, thunder monsters. So not really a problem if you would detach the Dual Drive. I also like to detach the Dual Drive because then the moment you recycle it, you actually have another card in your extra deck, which is better than the Ice Ryzeal. Yeah, and this way your Redoer can still tag out, which is also, it could come up. Star Ryzeal effect, and we're going to set our Ryzeal Cross. So we're going to set it, and now we're going to activate this card. Really fine, really dandy. One thing that we still can do, we can go Abauku with effects. So we're going to discard Fiendsmith in Paradise, banish it, and we're going to summon a light or dark monster from the graveyard. Now you can go and you can special summon back the Agnum Day, like so, then go into Lacrima after. It's really, I mean, that's so over the top. You don't really need to do that. You can just go Lacrima, special summon it. If you go Agnum Day into Lacrima, then you have more cards in your Spell and Trap Zone. So if you had things like a Note Ryzeal, or even if you want to go crazy and want to play Magician's Souls for a reason, then you can have more cards as cost. If you have droplets, stuff like that. It's a thing to keep in mind. Also, at this point, you have a Light Fiend, so another thing that you didn't use is Fiendsmith Sequence. If you need cards as cost, you can just attach this and use this first. It's all things that could come up, but in this case it didn't. So we're going to overlay Star and Lacrima, and I'm going to put this in the extra monster zone, so we have a little bit of room left, which could be important. And it's Daigusto Emerald. Now, Daigusto Emerald, what's the reason for having this card in here? It's actually a flex spot. I just needed a Exceed, a rank 4, that can detach the moment it's summoned, like that I have it on the field, because I need another card in my graveyard for certain effects. It used to be Dweller, but Dweller is no option anymore, of course. You can go for a, like, what's the other one called? Traptrix Rafflesia. But I don't think there's a trap card except Plasma Hole that you can actually send during your own turn. for free. So detaching is really not an option there. But it's basically a flex spot. And the reason why I picked Emerald, besides that it can detach already, is if I use it already, I can pick anything in my graveyard and already put it back in the deck and just get another draw in the process. So I am going to use that, and I am going to detach the Star Ryzeal in particular. The reason for that is so I also get 2 Ryzeal's names in the graveyard. So yeah. Now, what are we going to put back in our deck? You can actually choose like anything that isn't of importance. So I'm going to put back the sequence. I am going to put back a Traptrix Serra, just in case, and I am going to put back a like Parallel Exceed as an option, I guess. So just put these back. It didn't even really matter what you put back, as long as it's not the Ryzeal names, because this is going to get you another draw, and then you can use Cross Effect and target a star with the Duo Drive. There we go. Goes to the bottom of the deck, and then you get another draw. So you have 6 cards in hand right now. Now, if you don't want to put back the Duo Drive, because having Duo Drive in grave means that if Eclipse Twins goes to the graveyard with the detonator, you can special summon them back already. So there could be a reason for you wanting to keep the Duo Drive in graveyard. If you want that, you don't have 2 Ryzeal names. Just detach the Lacrima at that point. There's two reasons why. I'll go over that in a second. So yeah, let's do this option first. So we put them back, we got 2 draws. Amazing, we have 6 cards in hand, and we have all of these negates. Keep in mind, in the end phase, this comes back, our Abaoku. So this is everything that we have. Also on top of that, we still have Fiendsmith and Paradise in the graveyard to send our last card that I haven't revealed yet, the Desiree. And on top of that, if the Redoer uses the effect, sending the Holotea, you can special summon back the Myrmelio, which is a spell and trap destruction. So you have 2 more interruptions coming from the graveyard. On top of this field, which is like that's just crazy from 1 card. I'm happy with that. You have 6 cards in hand as well. Cool. If we do it the other way around, so we aren't going to put this back. Oh, let's put the Holotea back under the Redoer. And we have the Star under the Emerald. So instead, if you want to have the Duo Drive in graveyard, you can detach the Lacrima. So what can happen in this scenario if you really want it? Like, you're a bit far, things are happening, of course. You have the Duo Drive in the graveyard, you have the Eclipse Twins, it's all there. Okay. What can happen is you're gonna go Lacrima effect, putting it back into Agnum Day. Although, no, not like this, not like this yet. Okay. Yeah, sorry, kinda. It's going on a lot. Use a Redoer somewhere, sending the Holotea. You're banishing the Redoer. Okay. So you have room now. That's the important thing. You've used your Ryzeal Plasma Hole. Something you wanted to have in graveyard. And now the easy thing what you can do, use Holotea effect, banishing it, and you're going to special summon the Myrmelio. Effect, pop spell or trap on field, yay, happy. Using a Abaoku, yeah, you also had 1 less draw, of course. So you'd only have 5, but that's still using a Abaoku's effect. Discard, banish, and you're going to special summon back the Lacrima again. Now, Lacrima's effect, you're going to dump another card from your deck, probably another Engraver, just to have some follow-up. Let's see if I have one near me for a second. Like this, so you dump a second Engraver, just for follow-up. And now you have 2 level 4s in the field. So if there is something that you can summon still from your extra deck, not in this point, but if something gets bounced or whatever, you never know, like they used Ultimate Slayer, they bounced back something like your Pinguicola, anything gets bounced, you can use Plasma Hole effect, banishing it, and you can still overlay these two into another rank 4. I don't know if there's anything that's going to be viable from that, but it is another thing that you can end on. So I just wanted to show you guys that it's still a possibility. It seems weird, but it's a thing that can happen, I guess. Yeah, that's basically the combo. I hope you guys like this. If you want a deck profile from this, I don't know why. I can show you guys. It's nothing too special, but it would be on Dueling Book because I don't have everything, I guess. But I just wanted to show you guys this combo, which I had in my mind for like 5 months before I could show it. But yeah, this is it. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys in the next one. Ciao.